Hey everyone, if you've been following along as I dig into the history of the Graceville Oilers, you might be wondering, where is all this info coming from? Today, I want to share some of the key sources that have helped shape the research so far and tell you a little bit more about how I found them. One of the most fascinating things I've come across is an article written in 1968 by Paul Hemphill, a former sports writer who actually played for the Oilers. It was published in the Harvard Crimson and it's called Baseball Bums and the Graceville Oilers. It's gritty, honest, and full of insight into what life was like for guys trying to make it in the minors, especially in a place like Graceville. It also looks at the demise of Class D baseball as a whole and how that collapse affected small towns, Graceville included. Paul later wrote a novel inspired by his time here called Long Gone, and I'll be making a whole video soon about that book and how it connects back to the real Oilers. Another big piece of the puzzle has been an article from a magazine called Grassroots South, which was actually produced right here in Graceville. The article is titled Graceville's Boys of Summer, and it ran in the spring 1977 issue. It's not short. It's a long, detailed look at the team's history from start to finish. I actually borrowed my copy from a friend who used it in a middle school report about Graceville's history. A few years ago, I bought every issue of Grassroots South I could find on eBay, but this exact spring of '77 issue wasn't one of them. So if anyone out there has a copy they'd be willing to part with, I'd really love to talk to you. Next up is a recommendation from a new friend of mine who's big into Class D baseball. He told me about Scott Park's book, Bottom Rung, the Deep South Class D baseball scrapbook. It gives you the big picture view of Class D baseball in our region and helped me see how Graceville fits into that broader world. I've also spent a lot of time in newspapers.com, and let me tell you, it's a gold mine. There are over 400 references in Florida alone to the Graceville Oilers, so there's a lot to dig through. I've already found game recaps, player stats, contest announcements, even notes about concession stand workers. And to dive even deeper, we'll actually be doing a separate video featuring an interview with the owner of the Graceville News, so stay tuned for that. And last, I want to mention someone I've known my entire life, Dr. Jerry Windsor. His book on the history of Graceville isn't just about the town, it actually includes a whole chapter dedicated to the Graceville Oilers. Right now, it's the most complete written history we have of the team. It also gives you the setting, what Graceville was like in the 1950s, who the people were, and why the team mattered so much here. Dr. Windsor's book is one I think every Graceville native should own. If you'd like a copy of Dr. Windsor's book, please message me and I'll get you in touch with him. So those are the main sources that have helped me so far. Some personal, some historical, and all of them important. And if you've got anything, a photo, a story, a clipping, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being part of the search. I'll see you in the next one.